myself for something that scares me. It was really a diabolical situation. Hello everyone. Before this vlog starts, I am here to tell you guys that this vlog is a little chaotic. I'm bad at documenting my life when I'm freaking out inside, and so this vlog is a little all over the place, and I end up not even updating you guys on how the whole interview process went and whether or not I got the job. So future me is here to kind of narrate this a little bit and to give you an update on how it went. But for now, have a look for yourself, and I'll see you at the end of the vlog. Quietly because my husband is still sleeping. I woke up a bit earlier to have some breakfast because I just can't live without breakfast. I have an hour or so left until we start driving to my job interview, which is across the country, around a 5-hour drive away from here. If you want to catch up on where I'm going and what I'm doing, you can watch my last vlog where I prepare for this job interview. But basically, I just graduated and since have applied to a number of jobs, and this is my first job interview. I'm nervous. I want to make my morning as quiet as possible, as calm as possible, and also want to make the drive there relaxing as it can possibly be. I don't like long drives, so we'll see how that goes. So far, feeling all right. I am nervous, but honestly, I'm at the point where I feel like whatever happens will happen, and regardless, this is going to be a good practice for me. And my friends have been all very encouraging, and my husband, of course. You'll see what happens. But for now, I want to enjoy my breakfast, and I'm gonna watch some Vlogmas episodes that I desperately need to catch up on.
You know that I lie when I say that I'm fine, 'cause you know me like that. You know me better than anyone I know. Yeah, you know what he's
We have made it. It was a 4.5-hour drive, I think, and I got changed at a break stop. Yeah, now we just looked at where I need to be later because I need to see where I have to go, or otherwise I'm gonna be scared. I have like 1.5 hours left, and we are gonna try and check into our hotel a little earlier. I am still nervous, but I'm also just curious right now to see how it's gonna go, how it's gonna look, who I'm gonna meet, and honestly just to see whether this is even gonna be a fit for me. I'm nervous, but also optimistic that it's gonna go good, and I know that it's gonna be like a dialogue where I also am gonna see whether I fit here and not just the other way around. So I have prepared a little more, gone through my notes multiple times and my presentation and everything, but I think I'm definitely done with preparing for now, because if I do any more, I feel like I'm running the risk of over preparing. So it's just gonna be me waiting now until it's time. We arrived at the hotel. I'm sorry if the audio is really bad. I forgot my camera in the car. And this is what it looks like. It's already cluttered. We have a cute bathroom and just a normal bedroom. There's all my stuff here. Yeah, this is what I'm gonna be wearing, I decided for the black blouse with just some black like suit pants. This is what it looks like. And this is actually not a blouse, this is actually a dress that I tucked into my pants and hope that no one will notice. But I just thought it looked really cute, and I don't really have a lot of blouses. I'm gonna drive there in 15 minutes, and I think I'm gonna practice my presentation one more time, and then I'm just gonna hope for the best, hope that I meet nice people there, and hope that it's not going to be too awkward, and that the practice, like the work practice that I need to do, is not going to be something very complicated or something like an impossible task that they want to see me master. We'll see what that's going to be like. I'm always nervous when there's a task ahead that I don't know anything about. I like to be prepared, and if I can't prepare myself for something, that scares me. But I think everything is going to go good, and then afterwards, I'm excited because we're going to explore the town. We're going to see if we feel comfortable here, if we could see us living here, and then we're probably going to go to the cinema and watch Zoomania 2, because there's a movie theater right next to our hotel, so we're probably going to use that opportunity. From the future, and we're gonna talk about this interview because it was surely a lot. I don't know if you're able to tell from the vlog, but at the end of the interview, like after everything was done and we were eating and I was kind of processing everything, I felt so run over and mentally and physically exhausted. So after I was preparing in the hotel room and we drove up there, I was so freaking nervous. I didn't know what I was expecting and what was coming towards me, and I was really nervous. And when I entered the job interview building, I was greeted by two kind people who showed me to my room where I was gonna do my working test. Now, this working test was, I said it in this vlog, I was afraid of having like an impossible task to do. Yeah, it was kind of that. I had to prepare an entire presentation that was 15 minutes long, and I was given a stack of papers with basically the description of like a national park. I had to basically make a 15-minute presentation of why this area needs to be conserved and protected and what kind of measures would have to be taken for the area to be protected. And so I had to read through all of the details because obviously I don't know the detailed measures that would have to be taken, so I had to read through that very clearly. And also while I was presenting, I had to like come up with some things on my own and things that I had learned in college college, and I wasn't allowed to use the internet. Just had this PC with no internet and had to make the presentation in 30 minutes. And I had no time at the end to test how long it was going to be, so it wasn't even 15 minutes long. At the end, I think I took like 8 minutes or so. And I was so freaking nervous because usually, you know, to prepare a presentation like this, you'd have the internet, you'd have research available to you, and you'd have more time, obviously. But I did my best and presented, and I was so freaking nervous. Like at the start of a job interview, I'm always very nervous. And then as you meet the people and you realize, you know, they're friendly and all of that, you kind of start to relax. At least that's the case for me. But at the start, I'm always very nervous. So I presented this thing and I was in my head, I felt like, oh my God, this is terrible. This is so horrible. I was muttering. I repeated measures multiple times because I just didn't know better. And for me, the thing that I was presenting is something that I would have to, you know, research at least for a little bit until like I feel confident enough to present it to people. So I felt very demotivated from that, and I felt like I didn't do a really good job. They didn't even break the ice. Like I was in this conference room. After making my presentation, I was in this conference room of like 5 people sitting in front of me, and it was such a sterile and uninviting environment that I felt like an intruder and really like I was being tested. And after the interview, it continued in the same kind of style. So it was a very weird scenario. They just slided this paper in front of me with 8 or 9 questions. They gave me a little bit of time to read through the questions, and all of the questions were completely theoretical, so no personal questions at all. Nothing about me or what I did or what my background was, just purely theoretical, having to do with the job, the company, and everything. And I feel like some of the questions I answered really well because I did prepare, obviously. Some of the questions though were so niche, really tailored to the specific job that you would have there, that I just really had no idea. And I was too nervous to just say, I'm sorry, I have no idea, which I think would have been better and shown a bit more self-confidence. So I was just sitting there trying to answer these questions I had no idea about. It was just such an uncomfortable situation. And honestly, the fact that they didn't even ask me one more personal question, it just felt really much unpersonal. And I was able, after, you know, the questioning was over, ask them my own kind of questions, and I was able to break the ice a little bit. I always like to ask what they like about the job. They aren't prepared for that kind of question, and so people always tend to be a bit surprised but also really happy to be able to share what they like about the job. So that was actually very nice. I liked the people there. I felt like that would have been a good fit. I really could relate to all of their values and everything, but just the whole interview process, it felt very unpersonal and very distanced from the people there, and you were very much put on the spot. Afterwards, I kind of felt nauseous, and yeah, I was not able to kind of process what had happened. I didn't know if I did good or not, and I tend to lean more on my insecurity and think that I did terribly. And yeah, that was the interview. It was horrible, honestly. And the fact that this was my first job interview just made it so much worse. It was really a diabolical situation to be put in. What it taught me was, that I can get through that and I can survive that. And I actually did good. I got the call the next day, and on the phone she was really, really positive, and she basically said there wasn't much feedback to give me, just to work a little bit more on my confidence. And they really liked my presentation apparently, and in general they really liked me as a person. And I was so surprised, and I kind of felt like, is she giving me this job? She was so positive on the phone, and then at the end she was like, I should probably tell you the outcome, right? I was like, okay, yes. And yeah, I didn't get the job. I was on 3rd place though, which I think is good for the first job interview, and considering the fact that I was freaking nervous, honestly, I wasn't even sad or mad about it. I didn't feel like I wanted to be part of a company that didn't even took the time to get to know me and my background. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Max. And I also didn't really like the region that it was in. And so I wasn't even sad that I didn't get the job, but yeah, the whole process was just very nerve-wracking. But I think it was a good learning experience for all of my future job interviews. Like, I've survived this and I even did a good job, even though I felt so nervous and it was such a hard task that I was given, and I still did good. So it did give me a confident boost for my next job interviews, and I think overall I learned a lot on this journey, a lot about myself and how I should trust myself more and trust that I'm able to handle these situations well, despite what my head likes to say. So I'm looking forward to what's to come, and I think now that I have a little bit more experience in this whole process, the next job interviews are going to be even better. And yeah, I'm excited at what's to come and really grateful for this learning experience. And yeah, thank you guys so much for following me on this journey and supporting me throughout. It means so much to me. Thank you. And maybe if you want, you can share like your experiences with job interviews and job hunting in the comments down below. Have a great rest of your day, night, or evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.